Howdy, holy ones. Welcome to another Vampire Cowboy Reacts. We're getting back into Depeche Mode. Shake the Disease. This was a recommendation from one of the comments. I appreciate it. A lot of good feedback on the previous Depeche Mode video. Awesome information a lot of you guys shared, some of the history and the backstory, especially on my comment about Alan Wilder. So thanks for filling me in on some of that story. Today we're going to watch Shake the Disease. Before we get going, I just want to say thank you everyone who's been commenting, following along, and don't miss out on the DJ mixes that I'm putting on here. I have a whole playlist of DJ mixes that I'm continuing to add to this channel. They're amazing and I have incredible taste, and it would be a sin not to share my incredible taste with all of you. Speaking of incredible taste, I am sporting the very first Vampire Cowboy shirt. And you can get this, I cut off the sleeves because that's my style. You can leave your sleeves on, but if you'd like a Dead Vibes Only Vampire Cowboy shirt, there will be a link to the store below. And one of the little beautiful item that's on the menu is GOTH WATER. Now GOTH WATER may be considered coffee, because really that's what coffee is, just GOTH WATER. But tonight, we're going with a little mezcal. Warming up the vocal cords. Oh, we're gonna have a good time. So let's watch some Depeche Mode, Shake the Disease. This is the remastered version. And like I said in the previous Depeche Mode, I haven't actually gone back and watched these music videos in quite a while. So I'm kind of seeing these with fresh eyes. I'm going to react in real time and respond to what I'm digging about them, and leave my questions and comments as we move along. So let's dig in. So we are now fully in the S&M era. We've left the Vince Clarke synth poppy, light hard, I don't even know what you would call it. That era is long gone. We're now into the S&M. He's got the leather look going on, and we're in deep. Beautiful sign of the era is this lovely wallpaper. I don't know if this is maybe their aunt's house that they filmed this in, but probably just making the best of what they had. No, I'm just joking. I actually have a friend who is in a band, Ocean Blue, and it just reminds me of one of their music videos that he shot, and it feels like that wallpaper. I don't know what it was. I think it was just a lot of houses had that, and they found a space. But I like it. It's got that gentle synth pop, romantic touch to what we're doing here.
Understood. Try as hard as you can. I tried as hard as I could to make you see how important it is for me. Here is a plea from my heart to you. Nobody knows me as well as you do. You know how hard it is for me to shake the disease that takes hold of my tongue in situations like these.
So they give a lot of camera time to the whole team. It's kind of nice. Everyone gets a little close up, a little action. It's nice to share that beauty, or share that generosity that they're a band. And I've heard the inner workings of this band have been somewhat contentious throughout various times, but I like that. I like when we can give a little bit of love to the guys that don't always get the shine. That shot, the camera shot, it reminded me. It's funny because I don't know if you guys ever seen the Aaron Aronofsky film Pi. I think it was his first one that he did, and I remember at the time feeling like he did this camera apparatus that was kind of cutting edge from what I remember. And this is kind of that style. They kind of attached it to them, and they're moving around with the background. I actually want to take a quick look at that because that's what it reminded me of. So maybe Aaron Aronofsky wasn't as inventive, or maybe I just need to go back and see what the shot was, if it was actually the same thing.
Situations like these.
Understand me, understand me, understand me, understand me.
Yeah, I'm actually really charmed by this. Like, there's just a shot of a sink for some reason. It's really not relevant. I don't think it's artistic. It's just like of the time, and I find that charming. I think it's funny that they're just like, hey, we need to fill some space here. Film around the area. Oh, there's some more wallpaper, and here's a sink. I'm not shitting on this at all. I think it's actually really charming, and I'd like to see stuff like this when it just gives you a little more context or reveals like a very specific time, or maybe every little frame wasn't as obsessed about or over edited or over thought like we probably do these days. And there's obviously it's very important to pay attention to details, but there was a little bit more looseness that I think is kind of refreshing to see. Because I don't think too many people would purposely just have a roaming shot of like some wallpaper and a sink, but I like it. It reminds me of just a bygone era. And the other thing I really dig, speaking of a timely thing, is it was such a thing. Any industrial, and they're like synth pop, but they got little industrial flavors. Just banging on some shit, banging on metal, have a hammer hitting a drum, like just a metal drum. That was very much, that was a style of time as well. So I love that. I feel like it was a very like, almost like a Knights of Ebb thing. And if any of you guys are watching this, and maybe you were back, you saw these guys live back and they did Knights of Ebb, I think they may have opened for Depeche Mode at some point. That would make a lot of sense. They're all British, right? I think Knights of Ebb's British. So I will definitely be doing a Knights of Ebb video at some point. They're one of my biggest influences. So anyway, yeah, just grabbing stuff. Go to the junkyard, get some sheet metal, get yourself a nice big hammer, and start hitting stuff. It just screams cool and works for this genre of music.
To be permanently together. Lovers devoted to each other forever.
Now I've got things to do,
And I said before that I know you have to.
when I'm not there.
In spirit I'll be there. Here is a plea from my heart to you. Nobody knows me as well as you do.
I will say this, because I feel like I'm being maybe a little bit playful here. This is really entering into a certain depth of songwriting that I feel like this genre of music didn't always. It was maturing. It was maturing at this point, and this is a very specific time where, like Martin was clearly ushering in more of a depth and quality to songwriting and an emotional texture with Depeche Mode. So I love this. I love how soulful we're getting here. Whereas, even today, there's a lot of synth pop and synth-based music, and it can be a bit saccharine. And clearly, Depeche Mode was leading so much of this this style into a direction that was far more sexy. It was darker. It was deeper. It had a heartfelt, emotional texture to it, and that I wouldn't be here without this profound artistry. So, and this was I think feels like this was very much the early stages of Depeche Mode. I'm not sure exactly when that happened, which album or which song we started to see that shift, but this is clearly the era where they're starting to step into a lot more of that. And even, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So I love this. I love that you can feel so much emotion in this. And just more of a beauty and a poetry that thank God for Depeche Mode, right? For that. Whereas I'm trying to think of contemporaries, I'm drawing a bit blank, but yeah, it was still very. All right, well, I think of contemporaries from them like New Order maybe, and I love New Order, but they don't necessarily. I don't feel like they have the soul, the depth of the soul that Depeche Mode has, save some songs, on a consistent basis. It's just a different vibe, right? And that's why I love that we're seeing this happening in this song specifically. Because yeah, if you kind of let go of some of the visuals that are very much of this time, you just sit back and listen to the song. It's beautiful, and it can hit you, and you can feel it. It feels as relevant to any kind of romantic situation you'd be in today.
Know how hard it is for me to shake the disease that takes hold of my tongue in situations like these.
Understand me, understand me, understand me.
Build. There it is.
Here is a plea from my heart to you. Nobody knows me as well as you do. You know how hard it is for me to shake the disease that takes hold of my tongue in situations like this. From my heart to you. Nobody knows me as well as you do. You know how hard.
I mean, great hair all around. Well done, boys. Martin, maybe not as much, but I love that you own it. Martin's such a weirdo. I mean that in a very loving way. He's like such a weirdo. And that's great. Like my favorite artists are total weirdos. But the hair is very much on point with the synth poppers and the goth vibe. So loving it. It's funny that it's not even funny. It's charming again. That they got this one kind of camera trick, and there's like leaning into it. But also, again, these are old. They probably had like very little budget or whatever their budget was. It's just like this is what we do with our music videos, and there's still a clear style and a personality to it, even within those limitations. And I love it. Especially when we look back and everything that goth kind of. Where are you, goth? Everything kind of goth culture has almost. It's almost ubiquitous, or it's not. It's almost homogenous at this point, right? And it's fun to see some different textures and the different personalities to go back in this era and see. Yeah, like they were leaning into and they were actually developing and creating part of the subculture, but also they're just out in the open, in the sunlight, hanging out again, hitting some metal sticks on side of buildings. They're at the shipyard, and I dig it. And they got their aunt's amazing wallpaper.
All it is for me to shake the disease that takes hold of my tongue in situations like these.
Mix it up. He got it upside down. I like it. I love it. Such an awesome song. It's incredible how to this day, this is what, 30, 40 years ago maybe? Fuck, that's long. I'm making myself feel old, but I am an eternal vampire, so I'm old, but I'm ageless. How timeless it actually sounds, right? There's a lot of the, I think that's part of what's happening these days is like, people grew up, maybe their parents listened to this stuff, and so they like to replicate this sound, even though it's like, you know, the synths and the production style of that time. What I'm trying to get at too is like, there's almost we're almost erasing this idea of things sounding dated because artists these days go back to those sounds that somehow sounded dated, and now they're like integrating them into what they're doing now because they love it. But like Depeche Mode's maturity of their production and their songwriting and just haunting melodies, amazing lyrics, it just stands the test of time, and that's why they've been relevant for as long as they've had. They have been relevant, in my opinion, because there are so many big artists that were probably bigger than they were, far more mainstream for sure, who have completely vanished from modern day relevancy. But they're so amazing, and even these older songs are still so freaking good that it doesn't matter. Like that's the quality of how great they are. So I hope you enjoyed me watching Shake the Disease, reacting to this. If you're looking for more exclusive content, DJ mixes, a lot of more curation, you can find yourself in the Dead Lodge, which is my Patreon. Otherwise, thank you for watching this, and if you have a recommendation for the next video I should react to, please share that in the comments. What do you think of this music video? I will probably come back and do more Depeche Mode in the future. They have so many good ones, and to be honest, I kind of dropped off keeping up with them around Exciter, and so I feel like there's a gap here between Exciter and where I'm at now, which is a long gap now, to kind of get caught up on some of their music videos. So be happy to dive in. I know I got a lot of recommendations from some of you guys, so thanks for watching. Enjoyed watching this and sharing this with you all. See you in the next one.